রেকর্ডিং স্টার্ট করলে। হ্যাঁ, হয়েছে স্টার্ট হয়েছে রেকর্ডিং।
Thank you for joining us for the third talk of the Young Folklorist lecture series. For those who are joining us for the first time, let me rehearse the purpose of this lecture series. In this series, we bring together those early career researchers who have completed their PhDs in folklore studies and several other related fields to share with their young fellow scholars insights and ideas from their field experiences as well as their overall doctoral journeys. Tonight, we have got among us Dr. Surama Bera, who is an assistant professor and head of the Department of Communicative English at Ashutosh College, Kolkata. She received her PhD in English from Sidhokano Biswa University, West Bengal. Her PhD thesis focused on the folk songs of Purulia. Her area of research interest includes performance narratives, folklore studies, cultural studies. She has presented papers at international conferences held at University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, King's College London, among others. Her scholarly contributions have been published in 7 peer-reviewed journals, including 2 UGC Care enlisted journals. Her current presentation is titled as Resonance of Resistance, Unveiling the Subversive Power of Jhumur Song Cultures of Purulia. The floor is yours now, Shurumadi.
Sushmanda, audio.
Sorry, extremely sorry. Thank you, Spondita, for the nice introduction. So today we will be speaking about one of the most famous, one of the most popular folk song genres of Purulia, that is Jhumur song cultures. And we will also focus on the subversive power of Jhumur song cultures of Purulia. So my lecture is titled Resonance of Resistance, Unveiling the Subversive Power of Jhumur song cultures of Purulia. And I would like to present my PPT. I'd like to share the PPT with all of you. I guess the PPT is visible.
Yes, it is.
So Purulia, which is located in the western part of West Bengal, reverberates with enchanting melodies of divergent song cultures, which are lifeline to the inhabitants of the region. And there is a local maxim which is Cholle Nach ar Bolle Geet. So movement, can I please request everyone to mute their speaker? Just a second. Pondita, can you please mute everyone? Because
Okay, I'm trying.
okay, I'll just continue. So this local maxim or local proverb, which is Cholle Nach ar Bolle Geet, this means movement is dance and words are song. And if I try to literally translate the proverb, that means walking is dancing and speaking is singing. And this local proverb aptly encapsulates the divergent range of performative traditions and cultural traditions the region resonates with, the region vibrates with. And this proverb also indicates that the residents of Purulia, the inhabitants of Purulia, can create a dance form whenever they walk, and they can compose songs whenever they talk. So this signifies the creative dimensions of the rural people of Purulia. and the importance of diversified cultural traditions, which are part and parcel of their life. Now, Purulia is a district which is often known as Chhou Jhumurer Desh, the land of Chhou dance and Jhumur songs. But many of us remain unaware of the fact that this Chotanagpur region is home to a vast array of performative traditions. And there are several song cultures apart from Jhumur songs which are still thriving in this epoch of digital revolution. And let us just quickly have a glance at the prominent song cultures which are still thriving in Purulia. So, firstly, we have the most popular song culture, which is Jhumur song. And Jhumur songs are performed throughout the year. There is no specific time period or time span of performance. Then we have Tushu Geet. Tushu Geet, these songs are an integral part of Tushu Porob or Tushu festival. And these are sung from Ogran Shankranti to Poush Shankranti, roughly from 15th December to 15th January. Then we have Bhadu Geet. Bhadu Geet is again associated with Bhadu Porob or Bhadu festival, and these are performed during the Bengali month of Bhadro, roughly from 15th August to 15th September. Then we have Ohira Geet. Ohira Geet is an inseparable part of Badhana Porob or Badhana festival, and this is performed in the month of Bengali month of Kartik. So this is roughly from 15th October to 15th November. We have Korom Geet, which is associated with Korom Porop, and these songs are also performed in the Bengali month of Bhadro. We have Jawa Geet, and Jawa Geet is also performed in the Bengali month of Bhadro. We also have Jat, Monosha Mongol and Jat, and this is usually performed from Shravan Shankranti to Bijaya Dashami. So roughly from 15th August, and it continues till the last week of September or the first week of October until the last day of Durga Puja, that is Bijaya Dashami. We also have Bihar Geet. Bihar Geet is the songs which are performed during a marriage ceremony. And so again, this has no specific time period. Now, we also have Pait Karer Geet, which are songs of scroll painting. Now, scroll painting or Potochitro is a very famous tradition of Mednipur, but in certain villages of Purulia, we can also come across scroll paintings, and the songs which are associated with scroll paintings are known as Pait Karer Geet in Purulia. So these are some of the several song cultures which are still thriving in Purulia even today. Now, this vast range of performative traditions or cultural traditions, they belong to the most primordial system of communication, that is speech and gesture. And human history can be mapped in terms of different communication systems that have evolved through the different historic ages. So, a conventional map of human history would represent itself as a development of shifting communication system from oral to scribal, print to audiovisual, and so on to the contemporary digital media. And each communication system has its own uniqueness, has its own merits as well as limitations or demerits, but they never replaced the previous communication systems. And the most primordial communication system that is still used by all of us is that of speech and gesture. And the elemental force exerted by this communication system can never be replaced by any other communication technologies. So, just let me change the slide. Yes. So these vast range of song cultures, they belong to the fundamental communication system, that is speech and gesture, through which people still express themselves. And these performing traditions can also be termed as immemorial articulations of life, and can be termed as mnemocultures or cultures of memory, which is a term that has been used by Dr. D. Venkat Rao, retired professor of English, the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad. So, what is a culture of memory, or what are cultures of memory, or mnemocultures? Mnemocultures are those cultures where the generationally imparted memories are articulated through foregrounding the human body, the living body of human performers. And most of these song cultures or performing traditions, they survive without any lithic dependency. Now, what is lithic dependency? The word lithic comes from the Greek word lithos, and lithos means stone. So, whenever we inscribe something on a paper or maybe on wood or stone, it becomes a part of lithic tradition. But the performers of Purulia, most of them, they perform these song cultures without any help of scribal technology. They do not generally refer to any external storage of cultural memories. They learn these songs at a very tender age. They grow up listening to these songs, and whenever they perform these songs by using their body, their gestures, they bring forth the transgenerational memory that has been transmitted from one generation to the next generation, which they have inherited from their past generations. And these performers, they become guardians of these cultural memories. So, therefore, the song lyrics, or as I prefer to call them, song texts, or they can also be called as mnemotexts, these are basically enacted and embodied compositions. To quote Dr. Rao, these cultural traditions are open-ended in the sense that they proliferate with augmentations and varied repetitions, and are organized on the epistemic figure of memory as singular and incalculable occurrence or emergence. So I'll explain this a bit more. For instance, when the people of Purulia, they receive a narrative from the Ramayana or Mahabharata, they transform these narratives into numerous cultural forms. So in the villages of Purulia, there is the Patha tradition of Ramayana or Mahabharata still exists. So someone reads out a particular episode from Ramayana or Mahabharata, and the others, they listen to him. Whenever the residents of Purulia, they receive such narratives, they can compose different types of song cultures from these narratives based on these particular episodes of Ramayana and Mahabharata. They can also compose different chou palas, different episodes of chou dance from these narratives. And what helps them to compose these cultural traditions is Shruti, that is heard, and Smriti, that is remembered. So the people of Purulia, they listen to these narratives and then they transform and transmit the received narrative into multifarious cultures of memory. So when a performer composer, Doiboki Kumar, from the village of Purulia named Fosco, when she listens to the story of Mahabharata, she does not limit her role to a passive listener. Doiboki Kumar, who happens to be the aunt of my husband, she composes a song on all the episodes of Mahabharata without any help of scribal technology, because she never had the scope to take recourse to literacy. She has never been to school. And what helps her is Shruti and Smriti. So this is actually responsive reception, and this responsive reception is the primordial force of the cultures of memory, of such cultural traditions. Now, one thing that needs to be mentioned here is that the memory in these cultural forms is creative memory. Ruth Finnegan, in her book Oral Poetry, Its Nature, Significance, and Social Context, speaks of two types of memory. One is creative memory, another one is non creative memory. Now, songs which are sung by merely memorizing others' composition, they are subject to non-creative memorization because it lacks creativity of the composer. But the songs which are composed spontaneously, perfectly adapting to the occasions, to the situations, are subject to creative memorization. So the cultural forms of Purulia, they mostly depend on creative memory because every rendition is different from another. So whenever a folk singer of Purulia transmit the transgenerational memory through his or her bodily gestures, rhythms, speech, he or she adds his or her own flavor to the tradition. He or she leaves their own marks to the inherited traditions. So, from time immemorial, humankind had been using song cultures to express their emotions, their pleasure, their agony, their anguish, their anger, their despair, their desolation. So, singing serves as a bridge that connects the psychic self and the physical self of an individual and others. And this can be observed in the song cultures of Purulia as well. The people of this region, they express their pleasure, their agony, their pain, their excitement through these cultural traditions, which are their lifeline. And these song cultures, these performing traditions of Purulia, have mostly been designated as the cultural forms of the primitive lower class, Adivasis, who live in the rural area of the western part of West Bengal and the surrounding Chotanagpur region. And misrepresentation of such song cultures can often be found among us, the urban city dwellers. I'll just give you a very brief example. There is a famous Jhumur song, Pindare Polashir Bon, by Shunil Mahato, as far as I remember. So there is a line in the song which goes on like, Alta Shidure Ranga Biha Chhade Korbo Sangha. So when an urban famous artist, famous singer, when the singer sings this song in an event, the singer explains the word sangha as live-in relationship, as in the singer, I mean the folk singer who composed this song, as if the singer is asking his beloved that we will not marry, we will be in a live-in relationship. Now, there is nothing wrong in live-in relationship or live together, but the word Sangha does not mean live in relationship. This is a misrepresentation of the song culture. Because Sangha means, so whenever a man marries a widow, a woman who has lost her husband, so whenever a man marries a widow, they tend to skip the rituals of marriage. And that marriage is known as Sangha in Purulia. But so these kinds of misrepresentations exist, and moreover, the song cultures of Purulia have often been designated, have often been associated with derogatory meanings. But we have to realize that these song narratives, these song cultures of inherited cultural pasts are not meaningless. And if the narratives are explored and analyzed properly, one will realize that perhaps these songs are culturally more vital, and perhaps there is a crying need to recognize the creative potential of these song cultures in the world of academia. Now, the most popular folk song genre of Purulia and Manbhum region is Jhumur songs. And Jhumur songs are mainly dominated by Sringara Rasa. Therefore, love is the basic theme in these songs. And Jhumur expresses, as I've already told, the common joys of common people, sorrow of common people, their lifestyle, their hopes and frustration, their dreams, aspiration, and disappointments. And there is also this popular notion that Jhumur songs talk about love and physical consummation in a very vulgar way. But this notion is completely wrong. Of course, because Jhumur songs are influenced by Sringara Rasa, the predominant theme is of love, but that never crosses the limit of decency. Now, if we try to discuss about the nomenclature of this song genre, Jhumur, there is no single opinion regarding this. Some say that this song was a part of Krishna Lila and people used to wear ghumur or anklets, which are used by dancers while singing this song. And the tinkling jhum jhum noise, which comes from ghumur, is the reason why this folk song genre is called jhumur. Now, there is another opinion which says that this song was a part and parcel of the farmers of the western region of West Bengal. Now, the western region of West Bengal is hilly region, and therefore, to grow crops, the farmers of this region had to cut the land into a series of successively receding flat surfaces or platforms, which resembles steps, and to make the land more effective for farming. And while cutting the steps, the farmer used to sing these songs. And this step farming or this terrace farming is known as jhum chash in Bengali. And therefore, from this word jhum chash, the word jhumur has evolved. This is another opinion. And the word Jhumur has also been found in a 16th century book called Shongit Damodar, where Jhumur has been described as a classical raga, which is dominated by Sringara Rasa. And one of the main features of Jhumur song is that it starts from oborohon, that is the high note, and then it gradually comes down to the low note, that is arohon. And instruments like madol, dhamsha, these are kinds of kettle drums. These are inseparable parts of Jhumur song genre. And Jhumur songs are also an integral part of the famous Chhau dance of Purulia. Now, I will just briefly discuss about the types of Jhumur songs. So, the first type of Jhumur song is Dorbari Jhumur. Now, what is Dorbari Jhumur? Dorbari Jhumur are those songs which were sung in the courts of kings and landlords during the era of Chaitanya Dev. And therefore, the main contents of this Dorbari Jhumur song is the love of Radha Krishna, and the theme is and the content, we can also get contents of Bhakti Tattva, of Vaishnavism. Then we have Bhadoriya Jhumur. Bhadoriya Jhumur are those Jhumur songs which are sung in the Bengali month of Bhadro. And pathos predominates the Bhadoriya Jhumur songs. Then we also have another type of Jhumur song which is known as Daid Shalia Jhumur. Now, Daid Shalia Jhumur is a type of Jhumur song which accompanies Daid Nach or Pata Nach. Now, Daid in the dialectal Manbhumi Bangla means a line. So when Daid Nach happens in this kind of dance, the performers hold their hands together to form a line and they dance together, accompanied by Daid Shalia Jhumur songs. So it was performed for a kind of entertainment for the villagers. We also have Tair Jhumur. This is another kind of Jhumur. And these songs are kind of Jhumur songs which are sung in the meadows. So the word Tair in Manbhumi Bangla means barren land. Now, these are very short Jhumur songs. These consist of 4 to 6 lines. And while working in the meadows, the shepherds or the farmers, they used to sing these songs together to keep themselves busy so that not get exhausted due to their tiresome hard work. And we also have another type of Jhumur song which is Kathi Nacher Jhumur. And these Jhumur songs are associated with Kathi Nach or Kathi dance. So these are the types of Jhumur songs, and now we also have contemporary Jhumur songs where the songs focuses on contemporary, the recent happenings of the society. And Jhumur songs, they play a vital role, and they become a means of expressing resistance, expressing dissidence against social injustice, political injustice, bigotry, etc. And Purulia is one of the most underdeveloped districts of West Bengal. People here are often deprived of proper education, health, sanitation, electricity, and other bare essentials. So these Jhumur song cultures are lifeline to the people residing here, and they often voice their resistance through these folk songs. So now we are going to look at some Jhumur songs, and we'll try to understand how these Jhumur songs become a platform uh, through which the people of Purulia can revolt, can protest. And for that, I'll be going to play an audio clip of a Jhumur song, which is composed and sung by Kishore Gupta. Just a second. And on the left hand side of my slide, you can see the song lyrics, which are in the dialectal Manbhumi Bangla. And on the right hand side, you can have a look at the translated song lyrics.
জাপানে যারে মানের টাকা, জাপানে যারে মানের টাকা ঢুকছে যাইতে যাইতে পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল, পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। ওহরে মরি হায় রে হায়, হায় রে হায়। আইলো এলাকা তেরি হলো, ভাবলো সবাই ভালোই হলো, আজ পালে সাথী খাবো নাই খাবো নুন ভাতে, পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। প্রতিদিনই কাজের মনে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার বললো কেনে, প্রতিদিনই কাজের মনে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার বললো কেনে, এলাকারে কেউ কাজ নাই পাবে, এলাকারে কেউ কাজ নাই পাবে, ফাইনাল হবে হতে পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। ওহরে মরি হায় হায়, হায় হায় হায়। এরকম পাথর ডোমো মাইক টাইটেনিয়াস ল্যাটেরাইট, তিন চারটের বক্স সাইড গার্নেট আর ইলমে নাই, পাকসাই ভিটে ট্রাকে ট্রাকে, পাকসাই ভিটে ট্রাকে ট্রাকে যাচ্ছে আধার বাটে, পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। ওহরে মরে হায় 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 হায়। এই রাজ্যের সরকার মন্ত্রী নেতা পুলিশ পাওয়ার বিধায়ক সঙ্গে আছে এই ব্যাপারটিতে, তখন কাছে বিধায়ক ছিলেন আপনি, এখনকার আপনার ভক্তি আয় যখন পার্টি পাহাড় তৈরি হয় তখন ব্যাপার বার হয়েছিল, ব্যাপারটা কিন্তু এখনো আমার কাছে আছে, যদি তার প্রমাণ নেওয়া থাকে আমার কাছে আসতে পারেন, আমার ফোন নাম্বারও দিয়ে দেওয়া হবে, হবে। তো এই রাজ্যের সরকার মন্ত্রী নেতা পুলিশ পাওয়ার মন্ত্রী বিধায়ক সঙ্গে আছে এই ব্যাপারটিতে, পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। আইগো আমাদের পুরুলিয়া কইলো তো দেউলিয়া, আইগো আমাদের পুরুলিয়া কইলো তো দেউলিয়া, বাগমুন্ডি পাহাড়কে ধর করছে কাটে কাটে, পুরুলিয়াটা বিকাই গেল বিদেশ ভিতরে নামছে। ছিল যত খনিজ সম্পদ পাহাড় জঙ্গল কাঠ পুষ্প, ছিল যত খনিজ সম্পদ পাহাড় জঙ্গল কাঠ পুষ্প, কাটে কুটে নিলেন লুটে আমাদের অজান্তে বুড়াটা বিদায় গেল কি যে শীতের কামে ও রে মরে কারে মাঝে মাঝে শুনলাম সর্বজন পাখি পাহাড়ের বিবরণ শুনলাম তো সর্বজন পাখি পাহাড়ের বিবরণ মনের দুঃখে গান না কিশোর মনের দুঃখে গান না কিশোর গায়ে সব জায়গাতে বুড়াটা বিদায় গেল কি যে শীতের কামে আপনি যারা মনের টাকা দিচ্ছে দেখে দেখে
So this Jhumur song, which has been sung and composed by Kishore Gupta, uh, voices dissidence against the government when hydroelectric project was set up in Purulia. And Jhumur poet, composer, and singer Kishore Gupta, he undauntedly declares that Puruliata bikaye gelo bideshider hathe. That means Purulia has been sold to the outsiders who come and loot the natural resources mercilessly, depriving the local residents of Purulia. So, in the first three stanzas of the song, we get to know that the local people of Purulia, they were actually very happy when the hydroelectric project was set up in the region, because they thought that this project might bring employment to the locality. So there is this line, hydroelectric hoilo bhablo shobai bhaloi hoilo. So they thought that this project might bring employment to the locality, but their dream of getting a job, was shattered to pieces when they came to know that laborers for this project will come from other districts and maybe other states. And their singer, Kishore Gupta, he keeps on saying Puruliata bikaye gelo bideshider hate. So this phrase, Purulia has been sold to the outsiders, this appears as a refrain. This appears repeatedly in each stanza. And the song also condemns the role of the then MLA and the then government, who deprived the marginalized inhabitants of Purulia. Because Kishore Gupta says, Jorito ei rajyer sarkar, montri neta, police power. So ministers, police, MLA, everyone was involved, and they together deprived the marginalized inhabitants of Purulia. And therefore, this Jhumur song becomes a medium of revolt against the subjugation and domination of the powerless, marginalized group by the rich and powerful. Now we will have a look at our next song, and for that also I'm going to play an audio clip, and this song is composed by Bholanath Mahato. And again, you can see the lyrics of the song, which are in Manbhumi Bangla, towards the left hand of my slide, and the translated song lyrics towards the right hand.
নির্যাতন হচ্ছে ঘরে ঘরে এ দুঃখ আর সহে নাই ঘরে এ দুঃখ আর সহে নাই ঘরে সমাজ দ্বারা শেষ মাগলে কিছু পাবে না লুটে হবে না বল গঙ্গা ধরে তৃণমূল বলে গণপাঠা পড়িছিলাম মায়ার প্রেমে, গণপাঠা পড়িছিলাম মায়ার প্রেমে। গণপাঠা পড়িছিলাম মায়ার প্রেমে। বলছি কথা স্পষ্ট এবং ছেলে জন্মার কত কষ্ট কোন শালা পুরুষ জানে না। পুরুষ যেটা ইচ্ছা এটা দেশের কোন কানুনে লেখা না। মর্দানিটা রাখবি বন্ধুরে, মর্দানিটা রাখবি।
So this song, which is composed by Bholanath Mahato, is again a very popular Jhumur song. And the very first line of the song, which says "Bohu boro na taka boro," whether money is more important than wife, reveals the situation of our society. It tells us about the dowry system that is still functional in our society. And it reminds us of the innumerable women who have become the victims of this social evil. And this song is composed as a voice of protest against this social evil of dowry system. And the singer clearly invites all the women of the society to be united and fight against this social evil, because she says, "Ohe nari samaj darao ঠ্যাঙা ধরে." So, which means hold your stick and fight against this injustice. And in the second stanza also, the singer fearlessly says, "মাইগলে কিছু পাবেক নাই, লুটে লিতে হবেক তাই, এ কথা বালগঙ্গাধর তিলক বলে গেছেন। দরকার হলে লুটে লিব, লুটে লিয়েই খুঁটে খাবো, অতটা দম মায়াদেরও আছে." So she means to say that nobody sympathizes with a beggar. So if we beg for justice, we will be always deprived. And therefore, we have to fight for our own freedom, and we have that capability. So here, the singer, she clearly challenges the patriarchal society and say that if they dare to do anything, if they dare to harass women, the boys will be smashed like a beetle leaf. "খৈনি মোলা মুইলে দিব ধরে." And she says that the women would not regret doing that. So the singer clearly diminishes our idea of the stereotyped rural women and strikes back against the suppression of women. The way she says, "Mordanita rakbi tui dure," which means keep your masculinity away from us, or "Noile shoibo na ar dibojo hatare." Otherwise, we will not tolerate this oppression and be ready to get thrashed up. So this reminds us of the Rudra Rupa, the fierceness of goddess Kali. And the song composer, who is of course a man, Bholanath Mahato, he subverts patriarchy. He diminishes it in each stanza by saying that this oppression of women cannot continue forever, and if this continues, then people should be prepared to get thrashed in the hands of innumerable Kalis of India. So, therefore, through these song texts or song lyrics, the song clearly becomes the voice for the innumerable women of India who are being tortured each and every day. Now, for the next song, I do not have any audio clip because the Bengali version of this song is taken from a book by Dilip Kumar Goswami. I think the name of the book is Rar Sanskriti, uh, and the English version is taken from a book which is titled Sanskritization versus Nirbakization, and which is written by Dr. Poshupati Prasad Mahato. And this song, Jhumur song, is composed by Hajari Prasad Rajwar. And in this song, the Jhumur composer, he depicts the trouble and agony of the people of Purulia, the people of Manbhum, who were outcast in Orissa as well as in Bengal. The first line goes on like, উড়িষ্যাতে নয় ওড়িয়া পশ্চিমেতে লয় পছিয়া বাংলাতে লই বাঙালি হে হামার কি উপরলে টপকাইলি তোরাই সবে তোরাই সকল বাত সাইরে লিলি হে. So this was written in the backdrop of this was written before language movement, I guess, or after language movement, because Purulia was a part of Orissa and Bihar before it was included in West Bengal. And because the accent of the people of Purulia is different, so they are not considered Bengalis in West Bengal, they are not considered Oriya in Orissa. So therefore, the Jhumur composer vociferously tries to find his identity, and he questions Orishate loy Oriya, hamra ki oporle topkaili, which means we are not accepted as people of Orissa, we are not accepted as Bengalis. So who are we? Where have we come from? And the Jhumur composer also complains that the local people of Purulia, they have been deprived by the rich and the powerful, who have depredated the natural resources such as coal, copper, brass, and other materials. And they have also taken control over the natural resources of Manbhum region, depriving the inhabitants of Purulia. So the Jhumur composer says, পাহাড় কাইটে লিলি পাথর বনালি শখেরই ঘর তিন টাকায় কুলি খাটাইলি হে হামদের শিল হামদের নোড়া হামদের ভাইংলি দাঁতের গোড়া হাতে তুপা পথে বসায় দিলি হে, which means you have made your fancy buildings with stones by destroying our hills. You have made us work by paying us a meager amount, 3 taka, that is 3 rupees. You have taken all our resources and you have made us impoverished. So, in the last few lines, the Jhumur composer and poet, he uses a colophon where he says, Hajari dekheche moja, তীর টাঙি ঘষা মাজা ভাগ না ছাড়িলে হতেই হবেক বলি রে. So basically, Hajari Prasad Rajwar, he promises to fight back against this injustice and says that they are ready with their weapons and they will not stop fighting until they are given what they truly deserve. So we can see that these songs actually, they tell us about the socioeconomic condition of the people of Purulia, and these songs also help us rethink, help us redefine the concept of resistance, because these songs become an important medium through which the marginalized people, they try to reassert their agencies, because these songs, they become their agencies. Despite several misrepresentations of the song cultures of Purulia, the local performers, they do not lose their faith in their cultural traditions, because these cultural traditions, these act as agencies. They seek to reassert these agencies by composing several cultural traditions and performing traditions. And although these are covert ways to express their dissidence, to express their resistance, but these song cultures nonetheless act as the means of symbolic resistance through which the local performers of Purulia, they assert their agencies, and through these agencies they try to reclaim their autonomy. So therefore we can see that the song texts or the song lyrics, they serve as a potent conduit for power, functioning as both a platform for representation and a vehicle for resistance. And in doing so, it systematically unveils the prevailing societal power dynamics and elucidates the mechanisms through which the upper class exploits the marginalized section of our society. And therefore, I would like to conclude my presentation with another beautiful Jhumur song, which is composed and sung by Govindo Mahato. I'll just stop this presentation and I'll just play that song.
তবে হাইরে পুরুলিয়া জেলা তবে হাইরে পুরুলিয়া জেলা এই হাইরে পুরুলিয়া জেলা সত মায়ের ছা জনম লেলা বাবু ভয়াই করে দূর দূর ভিনু হামদের গাথের রং ভিনু চলা বলার ঢং ভিনু ভাষা ভিনু হামদের সুর তবে শিখর নাগপুর ছাড়ে যাবি যতই ধুর শিখর নাগপুর ছাড়ে যাবি যতই ধুর এই ডিজিরং কোথাও পাবি না এই ছৌ ঝুমরের কি যে রস দেশ বিদেশ হয়েছে বস এইটাই আমরা চিহ্নাইছি সবাই তেরো পর 12 মাসে একটা যায় আর একটা আসে বাদনা টু সুচিতা গরম গান হে ওহরে বাদনা টু সুচিতা গরম গান হে ছৌ নাচের এমনি ধুম আর মায়া আছে আর নাই ঘুম ছৌ নাচের এমনি ধুম আর মায়া আছে আর নাই ঘুম ও দেখো গাইলে ঝুমর দেখো গাইলে ঝুমরিও নাই রাখে কান হে বাঁচাই রাখো মান ভূমের মান ও দেখো এইটাই হামদের বটে আসল শান হে বাঁচাই রাখো মান ভূমের মান
So this song, this Jhumur song, which is composed and sung by Govindo Mahato, through this song, Govindo Mahato actually tries to say that, "Oh Purulia, you have been overlooked akin to the neglect a child faces from his or her stepmother. The upper class babus and bhais have always subjected you to mistreatment. But wherever one may go, the unique pleasure, the word which Govinda Mahato uses is reach, and have, I'm not, I have been unable to find a particular a suitable English word for this word reach. So reach actually means excitement, pleasure, enjoy. So the poet tries to say that wherever one may go, the unique reach, the unique pleasure found in this region remains elusive. And the whole world succumbs to the enchanting allure of Chow dance and Jhumur songs, their rhythm and their melody casting a global spell. With 13 festivals like Bandhana, Tushu, Korom, Java, in 12 months, our richness unfolds. And the magic emanating from these song cultures and performing traditions like Jhumur and Cho captivates everyone. So, preserving these traditions becomes paramount, and everyone should do that because Govinda Mahato, through his song, he says, "Bachai rakho man bhumer man." So, everyone should preserve these traditions because these cultural traditions, they embody our true identity and they serve as symbols of pride, where Govinda Mahato says, etai bothe hamder ashol shan he. So these are our actual symbols of pride. So, therefore, the song cultures of Purulia might fail to impress the refined taste buds of certain, not all, elite individuals of the dominant upper class, but people of Purulia, they continue to compose these song cultures with their remarkable creative depth. And these song cultures exhibit a continuous evolution, serving as a platform of dissidence against the exploitation perpetuated by the upper class of the society. So, with that, I end my lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Shuramadi, for such a beautiful talk. It was very informative and very analytical. I have several burning questions in my mind, but I will first open the floor and invite my fellow participants to ask their questions. Please raise your hands and go ahead. Who has a question? Please go ahead and ask. Okay, Bhaktipada Mahato, please ask your question.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this presentation. Um, I just want to know. See, Jhumur songs, they are performative in nature. Okay, so now our humanities departments, they are highly dominated by uh, written mode of expression. So how can these song cultures find place in these departments? That's I want to know.
In which department, Bhakti Bada?
Like literature. I'm a student of
Okay.
literature.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, in literature and yeah, of course, like in each department of humanities, like history, philosophy, as we can also find uh, philosophy in these Jhumur songs. There are many
Correct.
Jhumur songs which have. So these humanities departments, how can a researcher or a student study in these departments
Okay.
in our present
Firstly,
education system?
hmm. Firstly, I think there is a need to create awareness about these song cultures because I think you might know that many people, they are unaware of the fact that these song lyrics or these oral traditions, cultural traditions, and performative traditions, they have rich creative potentials. And if I talk about how can these song cultures find place in literature departments, I would like to say that literature and songs, those are inseparable, because before the written texts came into existence, uh, the song cultures existed. From time immemorial, we have been using song cultures to express our emotions, our inner thoughts. So we should treat these song cultures not in a separate way. We should realize that these songs, they have literary values as well, and for that we need to create awareness. Without awareness, of course, we cannot without creating awareness, we cannot do anything. That is the first step, I think. And the second question, how can you pursue research in these areas? There are some universities, some institutions which have now broadened their horizons. Earlier, specifically talking about English literature department, because I am also a student of English literature. Earlier, the outlook of these departments were, I think, very narrow, because they used to say, okay, how can these songs uh, can be treated as literature? But now I think there are several institutions which have broadened their horizons, and now I think there are certain institutions in India which allow you to pursue research in with these song cultures, humanities departments.
Who else has a question? Okay, Mritika, please ask your question.
Hello, thank you for such a wonderful talk. I would like to know that like how you have translated all these songs. Like translating this dialect is very difficult task. How did you do that, and what are the how a scholar can research this song in English language? So this is my question.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, so much for the question. Regarding translation, I would like to say that I took help from the natives, I mean, the people of Purulia. So, my husband is from Purulia, and he, of course, knows the dialect very well. And I took help from my husband and his family members and his friends and his fellow. He is also a Jhumur singer as well. So, I took help of my husband and his friends as well. So without their help, I admit that I would not have been able to translate these songs properly, because as you know, certain words are not there in Bengali vocabulary, the Bengali which we speak in Kolkata and the surrounding region. So if one likes to pursue research in English department with these song cultures, I would like to say that you have to go to field works. They have to do extensive field works. They have to communicate with the local people. They have to create a bond with those local people, because without enough field work, without communicating with the local people, one will not be able to understand. One will not be able to grasp the essence of these songs. So, of course, one cannot translate without taking help of the locals.
Thank you.
So before anybody asks anything, I will use my privilege as a moderator to ask you some questions. So you spoke of different communicative mediums, right? You spoke of Shruti and Smriti, and instead of using any tribal cultural techniques, these people just remember the songs and then perform. So
Most
and you
of them.
pardon?
Most of them. Most of them.
Most of them. And you
Mhm.
also mentioned that some changes are happening due to the use of digital technologies and things like that. I will ask, like, what kind of changes are you noticing in terms of their, in terms of the artists' lives and livelihoods when it is becoming platformized, like, like, I mean, you spoke of these people, like, uh, asking them to preserve the man of manbhum. But then if you just I mean, check out some songs, I mean, Jhumur songs on YouTube, you will find a very, like, I mean, what should I say, lurid kind of dance, and then very different kind of Jhumur is coming up. So, like, why is it happening? Like, do you have any idea?
I'll try to answer that because, see, nowadays we all use social media platforms to gain attention, to get popularity. And one of the easiest way to become popular is using cheap tricks. And in my opinion, there are certain people of Purulia who are making these songs look like vulgar songs, and they are creating such videos, and they're using social media platforms to upload these songs because if one sees that thumbnail, that kind of thumbnail in a video, there are many people who click on the video and who will watch the video. So I think that is why maybe people are composing such Jhumur songs, but those are actually not Jhumur songs. I would like to say Bhakti Pado is also here from Purulia, and he will also know about this. So now there are several, I think, groups, communities who so in those communities people have come together, they have created a team to preserve their actual cultural tradition, to preserve their sanskriti. So people have become aware that misrepresentations of song cultures are there, and those are very popular on YouTube's as well. So people of Purulia, they have also realized that, and they have also realized that no, this needs to stop. And now they have also united together. They have come together to preserve their actual cultural traditions.
Right. Yes, Shakti Padada has also written that they are not like Jhumur.
They are not actually Jhumur songs, so they are just doing this to get popularity, to get clicks, and to get to be benefited from the monetary scheme of YouTube.
Because I have seen like people like Shankar Tantubai, I mean, who is on the one hand singing Darbari Jhumur, and on the other hand posting something that should not be treated like Jhumur at all. I mean, two very different kinds of songs he's singing, and I can't really like explain like why he is doing it. I mean, it might be yeah, running a business. Yeah.
For business, because viewers of the Arbari Jhumur song, maybe he's not getting enough views for those songs, and he thought that okay, for business I'll do that to commercialize that.
Yeah. Okay. So who else has a question? If nobody has a question, then we might have to wrap up the session. Right.
Surama, this
Yes.
is Priyanka.
Yes,
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 thank you
Priyanka.
for such a wonderful talk. I just have an observation that when this UNESCO has also acknowledged this as this intangible cultural heritage, this folk song and these things. So, how far do you think that the government should also be held responsible for preserving? Because these things are being posted in YouTube's, and these things are like kind of adulterated, and I think the government should also formulate something in this digital era, that taking the advantage of the digital platforms to preserve, because it is it is very difficult for any individual or any group to do it without any support from the government, because it
Right.
involves a huge cost. if you want to do it in a proper manner.
Government should take proper steps, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening. So that is the sad reality, I would
Yes,
say.
yes, they should include this because
Hmm.
UNESCO has already declared this as an intangible cultural heritage. So it's they should include these things into their policy so that the future generation can uh, I mean they get to know the essence of all these, our culture, about our heritage, these songs, because whatever
Right,
they are doing, I mean seeing, viewing and getting knowledge all about in YouTube, these are not the proper form, as Shaktipada sir has already mentioned.
right, Priyanka. You are absolutely right. Government should take proper steps to stop these kinds of activities, so that because many people, they are not aware. Many people who are not from Purulia, so they think Jhumur songs are actually vulgar. And there was a recent controversy where this very popular YouTuber, Bongai, he, I think, roasted a particular Jhumur song video, and then a lot of controversy happened. People from Purulia attacked him because he did not actually know that Jhumur song does not talk about physical consummation in a vulgar way. I think Ganeshan sir has a question. How far do these types of researches change the mind of the repressor? So basically, these researchers, as in the repressor, who are actually the, I think if more researchers come together and if they pursue research on these kinds of topic, then I think the mindset will gradually change, because it will take a lot of time to change the mindset of a repressor. So that will happen very slowly, so we need more academic attention to these kinds of research.
You played a song on dowry, so I mean there is a comment that I mean Ganeshan sir is thanking.
Mhm. Right. So that
So
is actually to create awareness that dowry system is wrong, because it still exists in India, in Purulia as well, of course. So those kinds of songs are being composed now, and that shows that people are gradually becoming aware that taking dowry is not good. Dowry system is not good. So gradually, I think the mindset is changing, but I will not say that uh, the mindset of everyone has changed. This will take a lot of time.
so where did you I mean record the song from, like the song on dowry? I mean you played
uh,
it, right?
yeah, this song is also on YouTube, so I could not find the track while I was pursuing PhD. I recorded that song from YouTube. I think you can go on YouTube and search songs by Bholanath Mahato, and I think you will find the song. I could not find the song yesterday also, so I thought, okay, I have the audio clipping and I will play that.
So there is a question. What is your take on the remake of folk song in popular culture? For example, remix and okay, remix of huh.
বড় লোকের বিটিলো, the remake and remix of that song by Badshah, popular. So again, that is for popularity, for commercialization, because okay, song cultures will change obviously, because as I've already told you that these cultures are prone to changes, because with time different things influence these song cultures, these performing traditions. So it will change. But if you are asking about my opinion on the remake of that particular song, I personally did not like the song, did not like the remix, because I just thought that this was because of commercialization. They did not understand the essence of the song, and they just commercialized it for their benefit. And maybe you can remember that before, they did not even ask permission of Ratan Kahar. So when the song was out, then people started commenting that this song is composed by Ratan Kahar. You have not acknowledged him at all. And to compensate that, they finally acknowledged Ratan Kahar. They gave him enough money, I think, because Badshah is from Bollywood, so they offered him a great amount of money, maybe, and then they remade it once again. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Mundi. We need to be aware of our rich culture and heritage, and without awareness, nothing can change this current scenario.
Okay, so if anybody has any question, please type it, or we will wrap up the session.
Hello, ma'am. Okay, I heard about the responsibility of government. Okay, so I'm just thinking that is there a need to include these song cultures
Hmm.
in our education system? Because see, Purulia, we tell that Purulia is known for Jhumur and Cho. These are our cultural heritage. But the children of Purulia, the new generation, they are not learning. Okay,
Right.
so no, so how can, I mean, it will be preserved? So I'm just guessing. I'm just thinking that is there a need that we should include, like in our university,
Hmm.
Sidhu University in Purulia, there is a department known as Performing Arts Department, but Jhumur and Cho are not included in that department. They are teaching classical music and Hindustani
And
music.
and
Okay,
Hindustani.
so how can Jhumur and Cho, the children, the students, and the new generation will learn these cultures?
That is the problem, because the educational sector is being controlled by the urban people, mostly the urban people. And I'm not blaming everyone, but I feel that not everyone, um you know as I have told you, maybe these song cultures, they fail to impress the refined taste buds of certain urban elite people. So the government should take proper steps. They should make policies so that these song cultures can be included in the syllabus, in the curriculum, so that the children of Purulia, they learn these song cultures. But that is actually not happening right now. So there is a very serious need to include these song cultures, all the performing traditions, in the academic curriculum. And Bhakti Pada, I know you record songs. You are also trying to preserve these cultural traditions in your own way. So that is also a very good. That is a great way to preserve these song cultures. So if we should also individually try to preserve these rich cultural heritages. So it is also our responsibility, because of course we cannot just hope that government will do this one day, and we cannot just hope and wait. So we should also take proper action immediately. And of course the government should also take policies, take proper action.
Okay, I think we have come to the end of the session. It was a very informative session, and there are so many questions today. I mean, questions after question in the chat box, and then people just turned on their microphone and then asked. And we also listened to some beautiful songs that I haven't heard otherwise. So thank you, Shuromadi, for this wonderful talk. I hope we will get you once again in future.
Sure.
And thank you. So
Thank you so much for inviting me as well. And thank you to the wonderful audience who engaged and who engaged in conversation. Thanks a lot for your interest and enthusiasm.
Thank you. This is the end of the session.
Thank you.